So apparently in recent years, more and more people have been deciding to convert to Orthodox Christianity. Now, whether or not this is happening at greater rates than people who are deciding to convert to the Roman Catholic Church, I'm not really sure. But in both cases, I think the reason that more and more people are converting to these religions is that they're very old, they're very traditional, and in today's world, things are moving too fast. There's a lack of connection, a lack of spirituality, and so they're very enticing options. From my point of view, as someone who was brought up as a Roman Catholic, I like the fact that both the Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church have got very nice interior designs going on. I like the art, I like the tradition, I like how they just feel old and traditional, and they give me a nice feeling of spiritual satisfaction, let's say. But are there any reasons why I, as someone who is a lapsed Catholic, should consider converting to the Orthodox Church when I could easily just convert or return at least to the Catholic Church? What would be one of the benefits of me joining the Orthodox Church? I mean, one of the biggest problems straight away is that a lot of the Orthodox churches are very much based on the state or the country that they're in. So you hear about the Russian Orthodox Church or the Latvian Orthodox Church, which is a bit of a Seinfeld reference right there. And I think that is one of the biggest differences straight away is the Catholic Church. The word Catholic means universal. There's a bit more standardization, and you feel a little bit more comfortable if you're an Australian Catholic like me, walking into an Irish Catholic church or a Polish Catholic church. Of course, a lot of the people, if I was to go to a very Polish-focused Catholic church here in Australia, I might feel a bit out of place because everyone else is Polish. However, as someone who is Catholic, there is an understanding that you're all part of the same church. Now, I'm sure it works in a similar way. If you're a Latvian Orthodox person, you can probably pop into the Orthodox Church in Belarus and you'll be fine. But just the fact that they use the word Belarusian Orthodox or Romanian Orthodox, you know, it sounds a little bit exclusive in some ways. So it is interesting to find out that so many Americans are converting to the Orthodox Church, and they're finding something specifically appealing about Orthodox Christianity that they can't find, I suppose, in the Catholic Church. But I'm going to take a bit of a bet that the people who are returning to the Orthodox Church as opposed to the Catholic Church or whatever it is, some people might be doing it because of those very small differences with the Orthodox Church and the practices that go on in that church. But I'm sure that there's also some appeal in the fact that these churches are part of Eastern Europe, or at least we associate them with Eastern Europe. Now, I certainly feel that appeal. I always go to Eastern Europe whenever I'm in Europe. I just prefer being in Eastern Europe. It has a very different vibe. It does feel like an old world type of place. It's a bit less commercial. And I just like the different vibe that I get when I'm in Eastern Europe, and I like the different vibe I get in their churches. It feels kind of similar to Catholicism, but it feels different as well. And I very much just enjoy, I guess it's just like a change of scenery. It's just like, wow, I'm in an Eastern European church now. But I still do have to wonder about these people who are converting to the Orthodox Church who have no connection to Eastern Europe, you know, people who might be Irish Catholics who were brought up Catholic, became a lapsed Catholic like me, then got involved in witchcraft, then became a Satanist for a while, then decided to be born again as somebody in the Orthodox Church. Or maybe they decided to go Protestant, evangelical, and then become Orthodox. This seems to be the standard pipeline for Westerners who join the Orthodox Church. And I do wonder whether people watch my videos that I'm making here and they wonder whether once I'm done with Satanism and Wicca and witchcraft and converting to Satanism, whether I will then convert to the Orthodox Church, and will I stay there for a long time? But the honest truth is that if I was to convert to the Orthodox Church, the main reason I can see myself doing so would be for very similar reasons to the fictional character George Costanza from the hit 90s sitcom Seinfeld, where he converts to Latvian Orthodox just so that he can be with his girlfriend who was Latvian and needed him to convert to becoming a Latvian Orthodox person in order to be with her. And I think in my case it would be for very similar reasons. It would be if I was trying to have intercourse with a Serb or something like that. Now, when I was a Catholic church-going young 5-year-old and I used to spend hours and hours on the swing all day long in our backyard in the suburb of Glenhuntly here in Melbourne in Australia, I used to get kind of immersed in a dream world doing this, just looking at the sky, looking at the clouds. And if I went high enough, I used to be able to see over the fence, and what I would see in the distance was just the top of a Greek Orthodox church that was in 2 streets away, but I would see it from my backyard. And it was a very meditative thing that I was doing as a 5-year-old, you know, just hours and hours of peeking over the fence, just looking at this emerging Greek Orthodox church. And I used to wonder, like, what is that church? Because I knew I went to the local Catholic church. And I was just wondering, what is this other church that looks very fancy? I like the different architecture. It was very much a dome shape on top of this very small Greek Orthodox church. And I can't help but wonder whether that was a bit of a sign from God that there was an Orthodox church whenever I would enter into this meditative state as a young boy, and I think that did leave a little bit of an impact on me. But I do think the truth is that if I was to convert to the Orthodox Church, I wouldn't really be considering the Greek Orthodox Church. I don't think I want to hang around with that many Greeks. And that's nothing against Greek people. It's just that I live here in Melbourne. There's a lot of Greeks and I've been friends with many Greek people. But I don't know why. I just feel like if I was to return to an Orthodox Church, I would be more likely to choose the Russian Orthodox Church. I had some Russian friends when I was younger, and they stopped inviting me to their birthday parties, and you know what, that's fine. Once again, maybe it's just Russian women are more appealing to me than Greek, but each to their own. I like Greek women as well. So as you can probably tell, I don't really have the best reasons to convert to Orthodox Christianity, even though obviously there's quite an appeal. I feel like at this rate, I'm just much better off going back to the Catholic Church, where I've already been baptized and confirmed anyway. And let's face it, I don't really believe in God, which is always going to be quite an obstacle with these things, let's face it. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Should I consider converting to the Orthodox Church just to see what happens? Should I return to the Catholic Church? What do you think are the biggest differences between the Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time.